Hey guys, welcome back to releasethecraftin. We're still here for the Full Deck Challenge 4 that's hosted by Shauna at Shanouki Art. That's hashtag FDC4. And today, what am I doing? I am doing week 6. And I'm playing catch up. If you are just now joining me, I am catching up. I got 6 down so far and about 20 to go. So here we are. And the prompts that I chose for this one were shaker box, flowers, and light blue or turquoise. It depends on the day of the week that determines how I feel about this color. I'm leaning more towards turquoise, but they're both on the list of available prompts. And I'm gonna not lie, I don't know what a shaker box is. I don't know if it just means shaker, or if there's like something very specific that makes a shaker box. I don't know. I didn't go look. I just made a smaller shaker on top of my card out of cardboard. I made a box. A shaker box. I guess. I don't know if I did it right, but I did a thing. So, yeah. So I made this great grunty background. Don't fall in love with it. It's going to get covered up, you guys. I feel like I just have to start prefacing all of these by telling you it is definitely going to get covered up. And then I have this little bit of scrap cardboard that I'm going to use because I can't find my foam tape and I'm just not in the mood to order more. Foam tape would have been so much easier that I almost was like, F it, just order more. But I didn't because I'm lazy and I don't want to. But also, I have foam tape. I have it in this house somewhere, and I am tired of buying 2 of everything. So, yeah, it will probably turn up in my craft room clean out. I really just need to gut the place and start fresh with, like, floor-to-ceiling shelving. If anyone wants to invest in that, I have a Patreon and a Ko-fi that you could go to and help me with this project, because clearly I am struggling to find my own craft supplies in this chaotic cluster that is my craft space. But at any rate, shameless self-promotion aside, what am I doing? Oh, I'm making a little shaker box out of cardboard, but this cardboard is very, very flat. It's very skinny. It's very skinny cardboard. So I was like, oh, we'll do it out of 2 pieces. And then it just gets progressively wonkier as time goes on. But it does make a shaker box. And I wasn't really, like, overcomplicating anything. In fact, I probably undercomplicated this a bit. And it still came out to be a very fussy process that was imperfect. So I could have maybe complicated it a bit more. In fact, there's even a moment in this making where I was like, you could go back and do this before you get too far into this, like, nonsense and make it nicer. But then I was like, no, commit to the bit and continue to underthink this thing that you're overthinking already because you don't know what a shaker box is. And that kind of threw you for a loop, but you like the idea of having a shaker card. So, I will say, this, I'm putting all my ATCs in like a star book, which I did a tutorial for on my Patreon. Available at the $5 tier for those of you who are interested. Okay, that was the last one, I promise. But I made a star book to hold my ATCs in, and this particular card is so thick that it now has like distorted the proportions of my star book a little bit when it is closed. And I'm a little bit irritated by that, but otherwise it still looks great in the book. I'm happy it's in there. And so my thought process, I guess, here was to, one, make it so that none of the glitter fell out of this little shaker contraption by wrapping all the cardboard and all of its many holes and entry points in washi tape. And then at this point, I was like, you could go in and do the inside as well to keep the glitter from going into the little holes that are being made in the corrugation. But then I was like, no. No. Now, would the glitter move differently or be more contained if I did it that way? Yes. Would it be more polished looking? Absolutely. How do I avoid the raw edge in the final product, you might ask? I make the frame bigger than the actual frame that I cut out. That's how I did that. And that was how I avoided having to do more work for this. But you can see I'm thinking about it. And then I changed my mind because I already glued the acetate down. Or I was already in the process of gluing the acetate down. But I decided to make this like a photo frame on a wall, you know, like a little portrait on a wall kind of situation. Which is why the majority of the background gets covered up. What am I doing? I don't know. I'm looking for something. Oh, I'm looking for paper. So yeah, I used some of this rather innocuous looking scrapbook paper to make my little frame with. I'm not trying to make anything super complex looking because the frame of the, well, not the frame, the little shaker box itself, already complex for an ATC. So I didn't need to get too crazy with it, but I did need to make a little frame. So I made the little shaker box have like a 1/4 of an inch wall. And for this, I'm making it a 3/8 inch wall so that I have a little bit of like wiggle room to, one, cover up any errors or mistakes I made, but two, also it'll overhang the final image a little bit, or like that little window a little bit, so it'll cover up that raw edge from the cardboard on the inside that you can still kind of see if you're looking, like if you're really looking and craning your head around to see it. This will obscure most of it. So just sort of a way to mask any imperfections is by making the outside frame a little bit bigger than the inside frame will be. And then I didn't want to use anything super heavy for this, like you know, those little micro balls, whatever they're called, micro beats, those little tiny little balls that roll around, which I think would have been cool, but I didn't want to do that for this one. And I didn't use like glass glitter, which is what I would normally use, or any of those like little confetti bits. I just used like really lightweight holographic glitter, for a couple of reasons. One, I had it right here. Proximity was a big component in how I made this this box in the final, but also because I chose to use one of those little like Instagram stickers that I talked about in my little Twinty thing, those little like aesthetic style photos. I have them on like a little washi stickers and a little booklet, so I decided to use one of those. And because it is very scenic, I thought, well, if you add in this, it kind of looks like bokeh, which is like that photographic effect that sort of causes little light like circles to sort of appear in like shots. If you see like any of those, if you look up bokeh, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I think it adds to the overall vibe, and that's BOKEH if you've never heard of it. And I might not even be pronouncing it right. It might be like bouquet, and I don't even know how you say it. But yeah, I decided to break up some of the color here because I was like, oh, it's all very brown on brown on brown. So to get out of that, that's when I was like, late addition, let's add in some of this turquoise color. And that'll also be how I incorporate my flowers. I was just going to say the flowers was like in the image that I was using, because the image is like a flower field and a girl running through it, which I don't think I spend any time focusing on. I just sort of stick it down and get it going. But yeah. I do like the color breakup. You don't see the majority of the flowers in this. Oh, it's raining. It's like 96 degrees outside and it's raining, which is so weird, but it will not make my air get any colder, even though I would really like it to. Where are we? What am I doing? I'm fiddling with this glue, which is like craft room herpes, because it will definitely be everywhere. I still kept finding it even after I was done, and I only used a little tiny pinch of it. And then here's me trying to like use a little pair of tweezers to pick it out, and it wouldn't work, so I ended up having to go back and get my palette knife to do it, which I should have just done in the first place. I just didn't want it on my fingers because, like I said, it's craft room herpes, and then it would be stuck to my fingers, and then I would touch other stuff, and then it would be all over there. And even right now, as I'm doing this voiceover, I'm doing it at my desk, and I am still finding little bits of glitter. So yeah, the devil's shimmer, but it does add a very beautiful effect to this card, and I really like how this card came out. I kind of wish I had given myself more space and made a smaller window, because this does dominate the entirety of the card, but it is what it is. It works, and I like it. And And I probably didn't even need to make it 2 layers high, considering that I was going to use the thinnest, flattest glue possible, because, glitter possible, because it doesn't need that much space to move. But I didn't know that when I started. When I started, I did still assume I was going to go use some glass glitter. But yeah, that's the whole card. So let me know what you guys think. I think it's fun. And I think it adds a really cool effect to the picture in the background. I kind of like how it turned out. I think it's pretty. I like the blue and the turquoise together. But that's going to be it for me this one, guys. I appreciate your faces, and happy crafting. Until next time, guys. Goodbye.